can't give you a tab unless you order something. Jeff Stone here with day 26 of the year 2016 at magicreviewed.com. Wayne Fox, tab test. Here's the effect. You show the tab of your card box, which we'll look at more in depth in a moment, but you show that to your spectator. They think of a word on the tab, and then you divine that word. That's the advertised effect. Let's look at the method, and we'll see that there's some, and to add copy integrity, and we'll see there's some issues here. So for $30, you get 4 gimmicks and the DVD, and it's really 2 gimmicks because it's 2 for a red box and 2 for a blue box. The gimmicks are combined with some specific scripting, and so I'm gonna quasi perform the effect for you. I can't really because I can't. If I were performing it live, I don't think the gimmick would be exposed. But if I perform it on video, then you could stop the video and then the gimmick would be exposed. So I've blocked out parts of this tab. Okay, but here's how it goes in performance. You show it, and you say, in a moment, I'm going to have you look at this. And when you do, I'm going to have you think of a word. I don't want you to think of any of this bold print down here at the bottom that's all capital and bold. I don't want you to think of that. And I don't want you to think of a phrase like, for example, it says Ace of Spades right here. I don't want you to think of that. But any other word on the box, right? I'm going to show it to you real quick, and it's going to be very quick. All right, you ready? Got a word? Of course, I'm turning my head so I can't see, right? That's how quick you have to do it. And so he even admits, Wayne Fox even admits in the video that that's usually not quick enough. You have to do it twice. So here we go. You got a word? Of course, you can't get a word because I've got some stuff blocked here that's protecting the method. But that's the effect. And then from that, you're able to divine what the word is that they're thinking of by fishing for the word, even though the ad copy says no fishing. So, just a brief, what is fishing? Let's just say, you would never do it like this, okay? But this is the concept, all right? Because if you do this, it's obvious. But conceptually, here's what's going on. Let's say that you're thinking of one of those 3 cards. How I know you're thinking of them, how you got that is irrelevant. That's not the point. But you know that the spectator's thinking one of those 3 cards, all right? They don't know you know that, but you know that. Now, you're going to fish without them realizing, of course. And so the first thing you say is, I'm getting the sense that one of the card that the card you're thinking of is black. Well, you got 2 out of 3 shot of being right, okay? If they say no, well, then you know that it's the 7 of hearts. If they say yes, then you're like, okay, it looks like a hit. If they said no, you're thinking of a black card, I feel, and they go, no. I go, okay, wait, sorry. No, I got it now. It's definitely red. It's a 7 of hearts, right? But they say yes, and so now you know it's one of these 2 cards. And then the same thing, you go, okay, I definitely am sensing it's a club, which of course that's right. And I'm getting lots of colors, like a face card. Now, they're going to either say yes or no. If they say yes, then you know it's the jack. If they say no, then you know it's the 3. So it's a face card. They go, yeah, right. I go, that's the jack of clubs, right? Or if they say no, it's not a face card, then that's the first time they're telling you no, right? Because you got the color right. And so now you know it's the 3, and you simply go, okay, so yeah, I see it now. It's a lower card. It's definitely it's a 3. It's a 3 of clubs. That's fishing, okay? Now the fishing in this trick is not that involved and that obvious and that intricate, and you do it without even getting a response from the spectator. But you're still fishing. It's silent fishing, but it's fishing. So the ad copy is inaccurate when it says there's no fishing. Next, on this thing, it's right here. This is in the video. They have a shot of this, and I've tried to get this to focus, but then I have to read it backwards. So I'm just going to, you can just assume that what I'm reading to you is what it says. Your spectator thinks of any word on the tab of a card case. No, they can't. I already showed you that because I made you not look at any of those words at the bottom and not the word ace of spades. So you can't think of any word on the case. Further, using the exact scripting that Wayne Fox teaches us, I performed this effect a few times. The first person I did it to, he was fooled. I mean, he didn't think I really read his mind, but he had no idea how it worked. One of the people I performed for, or one of the times I performed it, the person chose the word co, as in right there, the playing card company, right? That's not even a word. And I was very specific in my instructions to think of a word, and also very specific that they're not to look at the bold 3 lines at the bottom there. Another performance, the person chose the word spade, or spades, right there. Now, the instructions I gave you are almost word for word the instructions that Wayne Fox uses. You'll notice, based on the instructions I gave you, you could have legitimately chosen the word spades, and it would be okay per the instructions I gave. And so I can't fault the person who chose spades for picking it. But that's a legitimate choice it could make. Ace, the word ace, or the word of, or the word spades. If you remember, I told you don't think of a phrase, which is how Wayne Fox words it. Don't think of a phrase like ace of spades, for example. Just think of a word on here. Well, ace is a word. It's not a phrase. I could think of that. If they do, you're screwed. You can't do the effect. So, another person I did it for, she said, again, I had to show it to her twice. I think all of them I had to show twice to. Maybe the one that I fooled, I don't think I had to, but everybody else I had to show it to them twice. But in this one, she said, when I showed her the cards, and again, I showed her the whole real thing, not just the thing blocked out here. She said she had a smile on her face, like a funny, cheeky little smile or whatever. And I'm like, "What's so funny?" And she's like, "Oh, nothing." And so I just went on with the effect. And then at the end, when I revealed the thought of word, she said, "Oh, of course I thought of that word. It was the only bolded word on the tab." And I said, "I told you not to think of the bolded words." And she said, "Well, no, it was only all capital word." While the word she thought of happens to be in all capital, it's not actually how the method works. And so I said, "Actually, no, that's not how it works." And she said, but I can't prove it to her. Because what are you going to do? I can't show her the tab to prove that she's wrong. So you're kind of stuck. So that's my experience with it, only doing it a few times. But only one time did it really fool anybody. So, is the method good? Frankly, the one part that I thought wouldn't hold up was the actual nature of the gimmick, and that actually did do well. Nobody spotted it, and I thought they would. So that part held up. But the verbiage, getting the audience to cooperate, it didn't work as well. Now, I'll admit that maybe I just need to practice it more or work on my delivery or something. I don't know. But there's some issues with the method, to say the least. And so it leads into the ad copy, where I've already covered some of it. One of the things, the ad copy, the way the video is shot, it gives the impression that you're holding this up for them to look at, and you can't do that. You have to flash it and then move it away. The ad trailer, the first revelation they show, or it's some guy where he reveals the word that he's thinking of. I think the word was design. What he didn't show you is that he fished to get that. So there's issues there. At the very end of the ad trailer, he does the effect, and then he says to the girl, "Do you want to see it again?" Well, on the DVD, the training DVD, you do see the second part where he performs it again, but they cut out enough stuff that even I, knowing the method, don't know how he did it. There are pieces he left out, and he never taught that. So the video, it's almost like a trailer, but it was on the DVD that you pay for. But that performance was edited, so probably to protect the method or whatever, fine, but I bought the DVD. Teach it to me. And he doesn't. He doesn't teach that at all. So he doesn't teach you how to repeat it. Getting this gimmick on and off of the deck, it's not complicated, but there are some things you need to be aware of. And if the gimmick is on the deck, you can't open or shut the card box. You can't open the box. You can't use it. You can't get the deck in or out. So he just talks about having it sitting on the table with the gimmick already on it. You can't do that because the gimmick is not really held on by anything. And so when it's sitting on the table, it could be obvious that there's something wrong. But even if they overlook that, so how does that work? You approach a table and you set the deck of cards down with the gimmick on it. So first of all, you're walking around holding your deck like this because he never tells you how to get the gimmick on. And so you have to just secretly go put it on, then hold the deck a certain way, and then set the deck on the table. So you walk up to the table holding the deck in this weird way, then set it on the table, and then don't use it. So it makes no sense to me. So if you're going to use the gimmick, how do you ring it in? Once it's in, he does show you how to ring it out, but he never shows you how to ring it out and ring in the other one so that you can do the effect twice. So the teaching is, for the DVD says, let's see, it's not on here. It's on the written ad copy, or maybe the video. But he says taught in great detail or something like that. No, not at all. There's tons of stuff missing. This is something that he's saying he does all the time, that it's a big effect for him, that he's done for years and whatever. Okay, great. Then I believe him. I'm not doubting that. Then what are some of the pro tips? Tell us about the time that the gimmick fell off the deck. Tell us about the time that the spectator chose the wrong word. How did you get around that? Tell us about the time that this happened, that happened, whatever. If you're doing this on a regular basis and it is in your working repertoire, you've got to have stories. You have to share them because we paid you $30 for this. Now, I'll tell you, I had a similar complaint about another product from a different producer, different creator, where I felt that it was just here's the gimmick, and here's some ideas you can do with it, and it wasn't very thoroughly taught. So I posted the review on Facebook, and he responds to the review on Facebook and says, well, I expect people to use their brains. This guy, I know who he is, and he's a nice guy, as far as I know, and I've never met him, but all the other products I've seen of him, he's a nice guy. But that is rude. I expect people to use their brains. Well, then what am I paying you for? Why am I paying you to teach this? Why not just put the gimmick in the box and call it a day, right? So that irritated me, as you can tell. Now, Wayne Fox did not do that. He didn't say anything like that, so I don't want you to hear that. But I'm bringing that up because this product feels like that, where it's it's almost like, here's the gimmick, and it's pretty self-explanatory, right? I mean, that's kind of how this felt. So the teaching wasn't very good. And for something that's claiming to be taught well, or taught in depth, I feel it fell short there. So there's problems with the method, there's problems with the ad copy, and there's a buttload of problems with the ad copy. I outlined them in the written review. Make sure you look at that. And then product quality, I just covered that with the teaching. I mean, the gimmick's well made, the DVD's well shot and all that, but what good is that if you're not really learning the effect properly? And so there's just too much stuff missing. So I could not give this a good rating, guys. Sorry. 2 stars, stone status of grubble. Typically, when I do a 2-star, it's going to be a rubble. Every now and then it's a grubble. And this one, though, the G is barely there. It's gone as soon as you flash it. I mean, it's gone. Like the deck being flashed in your face is what I was trying to say there. So it's barely there because the gimmick is... it's a gem of a gimmick. I mean, it's not a rubble for sure. But everything else, man, it's a big pile of rubble you got to get through to find that little G. So, that's it, folks. 2 stars, stone status of grubble. Click that button right there. Like this video and listen to the random iTunes song in a moment, which is Billie Jean by Michael Jackson. Yes. I don't need to say much about that. We all know that's one of the best albums ever and one of the greatest songs ever. So we'll leave it at that. Tune in tomorrow, day 27, for Pieces by Christian Ingblom. Blom. Thanks for watching, folks. We'll see you then. Peace out.